and welcome back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. I'm your host, Scott Minton. Today we are sitting down and we are doing the finale of the Everyday Shelfer series.
The grand finale.
The grand finale.
I think we need fireworks.
Wow, what would we do without that?
We are at the bunker, and we have at least 4 of the guys that have contributed the most to this series of podcasts. And what we decided is we were going to bring the 3 best bottles that we, in our humble opinion, the 3 best everyday shelfers that you can find out there that are in that 100 proofish type area, and that you can find at pretty much any liquor store in the country, correct?
I mean, pretty much so. There's always 1 or 2 of them that we left out that we might be able to find, and that's that Eagle Rare.
Right.
You know, I can't find that in Indiana anymore.
Right, anymore. But in Kentucky, Indiana, right, it's all picked over. But if you go outside of it, you go to Ohio.
It's one of those, it's not like super rare, like if you stumble on it type of thing.
No,
like,
it's Eagle Rare.
It's in the
not
name.
super
Exactly
rare.
right. It's Eagle Rare.
But it's not
Wow.
difficult to find outside of, these states.
Right. So anywhere outside of Indiana and Kentucky, you can find it pretty regularly, is what you're
Yeah.
saying? Okay. All right.
And actually in Weller Special Reserve as well. I mean, if you go anywhere outside of Kentucky, Indiana, you can find that anywhere.
I know Oklahoma and Texas is like...
They're huge. Those are meccas for
So my
it.
friends say they can find no Weller in Oklahoma, and they live in Oklahoma City. I mean, they're right there in Edmond.
They
which
should
is
be
right
able to
outside of
find it
Oklahoma City.
anywhere.
Yeah.
They said they don't ever see it.
My mom and dad live just outside of Tulsa. Like, it's almost in between Tulsa, Stillwater, and Oklahoma City. And they can go and they see it all the time.
So you know
Yeah.
where Edmond is then, right outside of Oklahoma City.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's right next to the
I don't
fort.
know how they're not
right next to
seeing
the
it.
base.
Yeah.
But they said they literally never see Weller ever. Like no
But they
Special
should see
Reserve,
Eagle
no
Rare there as
107.
well.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's not like every day, but like I'm
It's
more
pretty
often
common.
than it's more often. It's like probably once or twice, probably once a week, maybe once every other week. I mean, it's more common than it is here, which is like once a month, maybe.
I don't know.
Next topic.
Please.
Next topic.
once a year
Man,
here.
Josh is ready to go.
Weller
He is
sucks. Weller sucks.
We don't have Weller on the
we didn't
lineup.
bring Weller into the lineup.
That's right.
We did not.
That weeded stuff gives me a hangover, so I don't drink it.
So
It's the gluten.
the 3 bottles that
Obviously
we
what it is.
the 3 bottles that we have chosen for this grand finale are 3 bottles that I would say that are near and dear to all 3 of our hearts.
I feel bad because Nick didn't get to pick one.
Nick,
I would have gone Wild Turkey.
so Nick,
All right, well,
I
you
knew,
cannot pick one then.
so I knew Nick would go wild turkey, so
You
I
can
was okay with
anti-pick
it.
one.
Well, I was going to bring out the Kentucky Spirit,
Yes,
which is 100 proof,
101.
101.
101.
Yeah.
Just like
but we already have a 101.
That's fine.
turkey.
Right.
Cool.
So we got Wild Turkey 101, Old Forester 100, and then we have the
Four Roses
steady
single
Four
barrel.
Roses single barrel, and it's a 100 proofer,
Yep,
right?
sure is.
So all of them are 100, 101 proof, and you can find them anywhere. I mean, I don't care where you go, you will find one of these 3 bottles, if not all 3 of them.
Actually, lo and
At the local
behold,
liquor store.
I bought this specific bottle at Walmart.
Walmart. See, I mean, if Walmart has it, everybody has it. Target, Walmart. But I guarantee the local liquor store has all 3 of these bottles.
Now, Scott, do you know the price point on these bottles?
So Wild Turkey 101 is around $16, $18.
Okay.
I was going to say 20 to 25.
Yeah, I was with Josh on that one.
Yeah. So, and then the Old Forester is going to be around $20 to $22.
Now, the Four Roses single barrel is a little bit more expensive.
It is. It's going to be like $35 to $45, depending on where you get it.
It's because it has roses on the bottle.
That's right.
4 of them.
The bottle
There
is,
are 4.
the bottle is a little fancier. Let's go with that.
And that was the difference.
It's definitely the prettiest bottle of
It's
all of
obviously
them.
the only difference is the bottle.
Right. The Old Foe 100 signature has a screw cap on it, so you know
You know it's good.
it's meant for business.
That's right. It's like a mullet, right?
But occasionally, if you look at the Wild Turkey and you know how to decipher the laser codes, some of that stuff in there.
Can you mute him already?
I'm just saying, is like
Yeah. Just
I bought this bottle of Wild Turkey when Rite Aid closed one of their stores.
it was on clearance,
It
like
was
what,
on clearance. Can you decipher the laser
it
code
was
for us?
$8.
$7.99, 60% off.
I'm just disappointed you all just went right over my joke that Old Forester is like a mullet, business in the front, party in the back. But
It wasn't funny.
Forget you. man.
Maybe
Why
we-
would you
forget
insult
you.
Old Forester like that?
We
Oh,
did. Maybe we
I
did
love
that on
mullet.
purpose.
Everybody's doing mullets right now, man. There's like 3 dudes on the IU
If
basketball
you had
team that
hair,
got
you could
mullets.
do a mullet, but you don't have any hair.
Shh, don't tell people I'm bald, man. It hurts my feelings.
we can
I've only
get you-
got one left, dude, and Becky's been stomping on it for years, dude. I'm trying to hold on to it. Stop.
We can get you like this. What is it? The toupee? The
Rogaine.
toupee mullet.
I'm gonna,
Rogaine?
I'm gonna get one of those Guy Fieri things, man. That way I can walk around with it.
I look like the lead singer of Smash Mouth and Guy Fieri in the same time.
I look like the fat lead singer from what is it? Smashing Pumpkins. What's his name?
Billy
Billy Corgan. Yeah.
You guys act like you've been drinking hazmat or something.
We haven't. That's oddly enough. I
No.
wish we had.
Why would we?
Next.
Hazmat's bad for you.
Hazmat bourbon is delicious, but
It is. We can't get it here.
we're talking about everyday shelfers today, man.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so Wild Turkey 101 is we're going to call that mine and Nick's favorite.
It's fine. You guys are the same person anyway.
And then we know who Old Forester 100's favorite
Really?
is.
Who is Old Forester's favorite?
I don't know what y'all are talking about. I
Maybe-
was going to say Four Roses today.
And we all know
You heard it first here on Bourbon Barrels.
I could easily swing between 101 and
Both ways.
Four Roses, but you know we're going to let Matt have the Four Roses.
It's my yam.
Leap of faith there.
That's my yam.
So that's your yam.
Yep.
So let's dive in here on the 101. Let's everybody talk about what it is, what we like about it, you know, all that good stuff. Since these are our favorites, we obviously know that we're probably not going to drink any water with any of these, and then we're just going to talk about why we enjoy these and why we think these are the best everyday shelfers.
Let me ask you guys, has anybody ever had a 252? Wild Turkey 101 and Bacardi 151 together?
I have
A
not.
long time ago.
A long, long time ago.
A 252, huh?
Yeah, I
It's not
puked.
something you should be proud of.
I puked when I had it
100%.
right away. I was
Yeah.
like,
Were
I'll
you,
be back.
Were you in college when you did
I was gonna say that
Yep.
sounds like an undergrad college drink. Like, hey, I
It was
want
a
the
hazing,
two.
that was a hazing drink, actually.
I was in Florida, but
You were in
yes,
It
Florida.
was a hazing drink.
Was it spring break?
it was. I puked.
Twice.
2004?
3.
3. Man, I'm pretty good.
It's
Pretty good.
13.
Anyways, I did try the 101 here. I just took a sip.
Did you just hear that? Matt said I was 13.
Matt's young.
Motherfucker. Sorry. I did it. I
What?
just cursed.
It wasn't me.
I broke.
It wasn't me.
I broke the F
I've
bomb
been
for the
so
first
good.
time
It was
Hey.
you.
in months, and I broke the thing.
Language.
But I mean, really.
Yeah, watch your
Language.
language.
We
Be
need-
respectable.
Now we're gonna have to censor
I
this
know.
out.
I'm not
Yeah, I
censoring it. I'm
know.
going to let it go. But like, I will let it be
This
known
is a family entertainment show.
that I was the first one to mess up between me and Matt, and I cannot believe that. But like, wow.
So-
Actually, Matt was technically the first one, but I did edit it out for him because I was able to. But I'm gonna let this one
Just
go.
like that.
I'm gonna let my
Scott's not allowed to drink hazmat anymore.
I'm gonna let my
On
freak
both
flag
counts.
fly today.
So the turkey.
Turkey.
This bottle has probably been open for more than a year because it's not something I drink all the time, but I brought it with me.
You don't seem like a turkey person.
I do like turkey.
He loves turkey, but he's a Russell's Reserve guy.
I am a Russell's Reserve guy.
Russell's
Fair.
Reserve is delicious.
That
So
100
good.
Well, the 110 proof on their single barrels really is. It seems to be the turkey sweet
Trying
spot.
it at barrel proof is actually fantastic.
I know. I tried to bring one out, by the way, and I got denied.
Yeah, wow.
Imagine that.
This 101 has a tremendous flavor to it all up front. That high rye is just popping that flavor.
Reminds me
bomb
of
in it.
shame and regret from college.
It does. Now the finish though, the finish like drops off.
It does.
And I'll be honest, like you know when you look at the color and stuff, I mean they're all kind of light. It's they don't have the legs like they did on some of the other stuff we've tried. The finish drops off, but as far as up front, like I mean,
Turkey legs are pretty good. Have you
Yeah.
ever had a turkey leg?
have you had
Love
one of those at
turkey
like the
legs.
Renaissance Fair?
Love
Disney,
I mean,
turkey.
Disney World. I get one every time I go to Disney
Those are
World.
more like emu legs out there. I mean,
They're really greasy.
They are greasy,
They're-
smoked turkey
Not
legs.
gonna say it.
The 101 is not disappointing. But
No,
it-
it's
it
not.
is. It's all up front,
But
there's
it's
not a long
consistent,
finish.
right? It's consistent. You know what you're getting from it.
I would equate this to, and I'm not trying to smash another product or anything like that. I would equate this to good Buffalo Trace.
That is the epitome of smashing another product.
I don't
When you have to start your sentence with
a
no
caveat.
respect, no disrespect, but
I don't hate Buffalo Trace. It's not my favorite, and I think it's a good solid pour, right? But to me, this is what I feel like the rye that the Buffalo Trace misses Wild Turkey found at 101 proof. Just my humble opinion. Would you agree? No.
Okay.
I like it. It's good.
I think for $20 to $25, I think it's a solid pour every time. You know what you're going to get. It doesn't have the finish. It's one of those you can take to a party. Again, I call it one of those you can take to a party. You're going to enjoy yourself with it neat.
You're going to have a great time.
If your spouse or partner wants to mix it with Coke,
You wouldn't be upset.
I would not be upset. I'd be like, go for it. Half and half, do whatever you want.
But don't put Bacardi 151 in it.
Just don't do that.
But so, Scott, let me ask you this. So, right, you think that Buffalo Trace is missing something, but what about
Flavor.
E.H. What about E.H. Taylor?
I'm not an E.H. Taylor fan either.
Ooh, I do like E.H. Taylor small batch.
Okay, so that's just 10 more proof higher than regular Buffalo Trace.
It's probably just the proof point at where it's
Right.
at.
And maybe that's what the difference is between Wild Turkey 101 and Buffalo
Yeah,
Trace.
but you already said you don't like it, so whatever
I'm
you
not
say is irrelevant
saying
at
no.
this point.
I'm not saying I like Buffalo Trace. I'm just saying to me a lot of outside of store picks, a standard
Store
shelfer.
pick snob.
Yeah,
Right?
I am a single barrel snob for sure.
But what about comparing E.H. Taylor then to Wild Turkey 101?
Might be worth it.
I
don't want to do it today, but it might be worth it.
yeah, I think it's definitely worth a conversation, right?
I
But,
like
just to kind of counteract your point of saying Buffalo Trace is missing something, right? That's
but
just
maybe that's it.
but-
Maybe it's the 10 proof.
I can no longer find E.H. Taylor small batch on the
I
shelf.
cannot. That is
anywhere.
why it's not part of the series.
Okay.
Right. You know, so
All right. We got a good one here next. Let's go talk about it.
he's like, next.
I kid.
Next.
I kid. The Wild Turkey 101 is really good.
Yeah, like I said,
What are you, comic the insult dog, man?
Yeah.
I keyed.
yeah. Again, no, like I would expect that out of most of these. Like you're going to get, they're going to be solid. I mean, the price point is fine. I mean, $20 to $25.
It's great.
So the turkey or the Old Foe 100, which
Yeah.
is next, is what I keep in my decanter at home. So I've got a decanter that I keep up in the kitchen. Everything else is down in the bourbon bunker. But I'll pour this
down in the bourbon bunker
where it
we have
stays
this
cool.
debate later.
Yeah, the bourbon bunker's got to be underground.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. We'll
They
rename it.
called this the bourbon
Well,
bunker.
they just couldn't figure out any other cool name to call it.
That's exactly the conversation we had.
This is the bourbon loft.
You're going to hurt Nick's feelings, and he's going to stop inviting us back.
I'm going to start crying.
I have a bourbon bunker that's behind a hidden bookshelf door.
Actually, that's super
Ooh,
cool. And
so
why haven't we
That's
been
like
there?
the bourbon speakeasy, though.
Well,
Yes.
it stays cool. And
Why haven't we been there?
you've been invited. You've just declined to come.
Fair enough.
Actually, wait a minute. He said he was going to come and then just didn't come.
That's
Just
right.
Like his dog or like a cat or I don't remember. Something happened.
The
and
dog
he couldn't make it.
died.
The dog did not die. That was not the day the dog died.
Yes, it was.
No, it was
Anyways,
not. No, it was not.
I digress.
Anyway,
The Old Forester stays in my my decanter upstairs that I pour, old fashions out of. And
Your
other
wife
things.
got sick. Sorry to interrupt, but your wife got sick that day.
that sounds about right too.
Your wife was under the weather from her pregnancy.
This would be a fun. I do early times, bottle and bond, but this is another one I like where you're going with the decanter because it's a solid pour, and I mean I get banana nut bread. It's super sweet, super good.
My decanter is a Chrysler Building decanter, so it's just something neat to have sitting around upstairs in the
I
living
bet that
room.
looks really cool.
It does. It's got a nice pewter top on the top where
Is
the
that
Chrysler
what Mandy
Building.
calls it now, the Chrysler Building?
Good God. Old Foe 100. So this is what I use for old fashions. And the other night I did drink it just neat because I didn't
great
want to
neat.
walk downstairs.
No.
It is good. It is a favorite.
You knew you weren't going to walk upstairs if you walked downstairs.
So I'll tell you, the one thing I really love about Old Forester 100 is the color. Like, it's just always got a consistent,
It's like that rich
darker,
amber color.
Yes,
yeah.
a rich amber color. Like,
And the other thing I appreciate is that banana is really consistent with everything. And I love that flavor profile.
Yeah.
I really do.
banana nut bread, a little bit of clove.
100%. But every Old Forester we try, minus some of the really hot stuff because it just tastes like alcohol, it's real consistent and you know what you're getting with it. And I do appreciate that.
So this was a fresh crack. We turned the twist cap on this one, so the bottle hadn't been opened.
Yeah.
It hadn't had any error or
It's the
anything
best.
different. And you're right. This does have a banana pop to
Right?
it.
And I
off
love
the
it. I
bat.
love it.
Yeah, it's delicious. It really is. I might switch. I'm going to Old Forester.
This would be hard to do blind because again, you get those banana notes, which I associate with Old Forester. So as soon as I'd get it, like
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you
So
have to.
I struggled today when Scott said, everyday shelfer, whether it was the 100 proof or the 1870. which is one of the Whiskey Row series,
Well,
because I still consider, I mean, that's an everyday shelfer. It's a little higher dollar.
Correct. But you got to know this was the right choice because I actually don't think the 1870s really distributed worldwide yet. So
The 1870 90 proof, to me, it's when I don't want to go crack open one of my 90 proof single barrels, but 1870 is a pretty good everyday shelter
Yeah,
too.
I
But I
agree.
don't know if it's across the U.S. or not.
Yeah.
I think the 100 proof is pretty widely distributed.
I
And
feel-
actually in the Dominican, it's the upper shelf bourbon.
I still think that this was the right choice just for this episode, for this series, other than what Kentucky Par and Kentucky Owl confiscated, which were two of the shelfers
But
that we
they're
found.
high dollar
But
shelfers.
those are the two that
Very
I
high
would consider
dollar,
to be
yeah.
high dollar shelfers, right?
So
Everything else is under $35.
The other
that we talked
option
about.
was the 86 proof, which reigns in somewhere around $16, but really doesn't have the flavor bomb to it.
This is
this
what
is
I would
the right
expect.
choice.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. This is
I concur.
But the 86 proof is for somebody who's not willing to drink 100 proof. It's
And that's what it's made for. I mean, that bourbon wasn't made to be consumed at barrel proof for everybody or even a higher proof. I mean, you got to start out somewhere.
well, and everyone has different palates. So some of those, like my range is like that 110 to 115,
Right.
105 to 115, whatever you want. I don't mind the hotter stuff, but that's
And
fine.
actually, one of my favorites, and Josh is probably going to be really happy about this, is the Old Forester 1910.
that's just
That is
one's-
one of my favorite drinks.
So I
He's going
took
to be
it-
like, I got too drunk on the beach with it.
Right? It happens. That happens all the time. Like all the time with that bottle. I get way too hammered on
I
it.
took a bottle of that and a 90 proof to
It's
the beach
so
last
good.
October, and I haven't been able to drink 1910 since then.
It's so good though.
I'll go back to it. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Right now, the 1870 is my Whiskey Row
Yeah.
drinker.
No, the 1910.
1920, 1910. 1910 is my absolute favorite.
Right?
I need
Then
to open up
1920,
that
then
1915.
1870.
I need to open up the 1915 I blended back
Now,
in March.
so everyone's aware, 1950 is not a real label. It is. You can't go
No,
ask
no,
your
no.
store for a 1915.
Well, it's like the 1915 as well. Like there's.
Well, that's what we're
blended
talking
it.
about, the 1915.
Yeah.
So.
I thought you said 50.
No,
he said
15.
15.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yes.
that's
it's-
not a real thing.
That's
I
a
took-
Indiana vernacular that came out of
Okay,
Josh
okay.
that came into Matt's mouth.
I took half of
Happens
a
sometimes.
1920 and half of a 1910 and blended them.
yeah.
Hence 1915.
I do have one of those
Yeah.
somewhere in the house.
Man, this is just so good. Just so good.
Which one?
The 100 proofer, man. The old Forester.
Maybe next time, Josh, I'll bust out the old Forster Sputnik.
So good. So good.
Ooh.
So good.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right.
In the
So-
next 10
So we
minutes.
all just agreed that the Old Foe 100 was the best. Let's move on. Oh.
It is a solid pour. For me, I like the Wild Turkey a little more, but again, I like everything Old Forster's doing. I do.
They're doing some great things.
Yeah, I no complaints with, and this will probably go across all three of them. Like each one of them's different, but I would not like if you give me a bottle for that for Christmas. Like I would not be disappointed with any of those.
You'd be
Absolutely
re-invited
100%
next year.
no. That's exactly right. I'd be like, hey, when are you coming back?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to gravitate towards Wild Turkey a little more than most other brands.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have nothing. I mean, I have a lot of Old Foe. I have a lot of the Four Roses.
So,
All right. I just started sniffing this Four Roses. The nose on this thing just completely different than the other two altogether.
so the good thing about this, so this is what I will say is the good thing and the bad thing about Four Roses single barrels. And one of the things that I really, really love about it is that there is some inconsistency because they do have 10 different mash bills. You could get an OBSV, you could get an OBSQ, you could get an OESO, you could get whatever.
But do they state that? I don't see that stated on the bottle.
They don't,
Unlike
but-
the barrel proof where it does have the
Barrel proof
Exactly.
will always have it.
The barrel
stated
proof will
on
always
there.
have it stated, and store picks that are single barrels will always have it, even at the 100 proof level.
Yeah.
But when you just go buy a single barrel, you have no idea what you're getting. This is like it's like Russian roulette, right?
So-
Only nobody's dying.
So why do you buy it?
Honestly, for me, it's because I liked the fact that I would get. It's just like why I buy single barrels, just in general, right? Like I buy single barrels because I like things that are a little off flavor profile. If I wanted the small batch, I would get the small batch. But I buy these for a very specific reason, and it's because they're ever changing. Like I might get an OESO, I might get an OBSV, I might get an OESK. You know,
Are you all getting sawdust and burnt wood out of this thing?
No, but I had a feeling you would say that.
I do get some. I do get some oakiness off of it, but I don't get.
I get the wood. I don't get the sawdust. I do get the wood.
Also, again, back to my point. How do you know what sawdust tastes like?
I didn't say taste. I said smell. Are you getting?
He said
that
off
out
the
of
nose.
smell? Your nose is so
and
big.
believe me, your nose can smell whatever.
Guys, I got like 20 different flavors. Sorry, I'm way ahead of you.
Yeah. So I do like the analogy with the Russian roulette. I mean, they don't unless it is a store pick, which has the label on the side. Like you don't know what recipe this is.
Now, this is just supposedly, the most popular single barrel that they release is OBSV because that's what they make the most of.
I've heard that in like OBSF, I think. Like,
I've just always heard OBSV. So that's what I've always heard. I don't know if it's true. That's just the rumor.
The world may never know.
I mean, if you look at what's released, typically you see a lot of those two
Absolutely.
So
profiles.
it's all up front, but there's no
finish to it.
There's no finish to it. It's not overwhelming at all. It's
Josh doesn't like this because I picked it out.
no.
I would rather have two of the Old Forester and Wild Turkey, or the combo of 1 and 1 versus one of the Four Roses.
For the price.
For the price.
For the price.
Actually, right now, yes.
Based off the tasting, I'd rather have one of each or
Yeah.
two of each versus one Four Roses.
Yeah, and I like Four Roses, but this one's okay.
There's no burn to it. It's not obnoxious.
It's so easy to
It's
drink.
subtle.
That's the reason I love this one. It's so easy to drink. Like even the rye spice, like it's a good rye spice, but it's a mellow rye spice, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just a very mellow pour. Like this is like it's the quintessential bourbon as far as like, hey, you're getting corn, you're getting rye, you're getting malted barley, you're getting all three of the flavors, right? Wild Turkey 101, if you're a high rye drinker, you like rye. If you like rye whiskey or if you like high ryes, you want to go with Wild Turkey 101, right? If you like bourbon that is sweet but yet delicate and complex all at the same time, Old Forester is a great bottle to choose, right? But for me, Four Roses kind of gives you the best of both worlds in some capacity because you get that softness and delicateness that you get from the Old Forester, but you also get that rye pop right in the front side because all of them are like that 20 to 30% rye-ish.
Is that where Mellow Moments or whatever that Mellow Club comes from?
I don't know.
I've never been able to join. I just
Really?
Yeah.
I'll get you.
Thank you.
I've not been able to join either. But
I've been on a roll the past 3 quarters.
It's the first day of the first quarter.
So they
At
have
noon.
they have 4 quarters. So it's January 1st, the first weekday. So they don't do it on a weekend.
Can we
So
wait until after I get in to tell everybody else?
That's fine.
yes, that
Everyone
sounds like a
knows
good
about
idea.
it. Okay.
You should let
I'm
us in
kidding.
first.
I'm kidding.
So it's the first 4
it won't
quarters.
break my heart either way.
So January 1st, July 1st.
I don't know. I'm still
July
butthurt
1st was
because I've
one.
not gotten a limited edition small batches
April.
since
January,
2018.
April.
One just happened though.
In July.
July
But you
and
missed
then
April.
and then September, right? Or October.
October.
Listen, once
Always on
again,
first.
we don't care because I haven't gotten a limited edition small batch since 2018. That's all I'm saying.
So good.
It is so damn good. But yeah,
I mean, being part of the club, you don't get that though. I mean, you
do.
basically
You basically do.
you get entered into like the lottery. Thing.
yeah, you at least get in the lottery. I didn't even get in the
You get
lottery.
you get the secondary lottery thing. Like they hold something back, I think, for the.
Well, you get the chance to enter with everybody in Mellow Moments.
Right. Yeah. So
Right.
it goes Mellow Moments, and then you got the regular.
Well, no, it's Mellow Moments. There's an event, and then there's a lottery for Mellow Moments.
Yes.
And then there's everybody. So you have 3 chances to get it.
Yes. Which is 3
Versus
more than-
everyone else's 1 chance.
Yeah. And you get a lapel pin, and
Lapel pen's cool.
and a plastic card, and a
And they
stir,
send you a birthday gift.
a stir or a strainer right now.
They send you a birthday gift.
I want a birthday gift. What do they
Okay.
send you? Like a
A stir or
It's
a
a stir-
strainer.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
sure.
they got right now.
gotcha.
I'll work on it next time.
Thank
I
you.
hear you. We appreciate it.
All right. The Old Forester. Obviously my favorite fanboy in the house, but
Really?
but
I had
they were all good.
idea.
I would go 1, 2 depending on your profile. Old Forester 1 Turkey stood out to me above the 3.
I do think the Old Forester with that banana up
I-
front stood out.
I would agree that the Old Forester did have more flavor, and today I would switch from Wild Turkey to Old Forester. So I'd go Old Forester 1, Wild Turkey 2.
Look at that.
Closely
Josh just
behind.
converted all of us.
Closely behind, like very close. Like we're talking like photo finish, and then Four Roses.
the Wild Turkey and Old Forester are both very good, but two very distinctive 101 proof bourbons.
100%.
I don't think the Four Roses was as distinctive, but is good. It's not bad at all. It's just
easy. It's just easy to
Yeah.
drink.
I know, but
It's like at the end of the night, no one's there. You're like, oh, Four Roses. All right, that's fine.
It's kind of like Woodford, right? Like it's the bottle that everybody kind of recognizes and knows.
Yeah.
You kind of it's good. It's mellow. It gives you the best of both worlds as far as like sweetness, all that kind of good stuff. That's why I think Four Roses. So out of these three select bottles, because of this particular Four Roses, I'm going to go 2, 3, 1, which I'm going to go Old Forester, Four Roses, Wild Turkey.
So I think if you did a blind with these three, I think you could very easily distinguish these three amongst each other.
I'd pick up the banana notes. And
you would
then
know
I'd pick
Old
up the
Forester
high rye,
immediately.
and then
And that would be default. It would be last.
Well, and the Four Roses would just be so mellow that you would know it wasn't the turkey.
right.
Yeah, I think so.
So
I would immediately pick up the notes with the Old Forester. Like I'd be like, boom, I know that's Old Forester.
Yeah, we would all know that.
over the winter, we did some sample swaps, blind sample swaps with a few friends. And we did some stupid stuff trying to put too many hundreds or too many 90s together. And it was just the mash bills on a couple of what we were doing were so close. But I think these three, close in proof, you could easily distinguish them.
100%, I would agree. And in this situation, and like I said, they're all still a little unique in their own little way. But, Four Roses, I think, is always going to give you a little bit more of a variance. But, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I look at price point too. So, like when I see a bottle of Wild Turkey for $20 versus Four Roses for 40 or 35, 40.
Right.
I mean, and I'm looking for something that has some, some body to it. Again, that Old Foe.
So if you were going to buy a gift, though,
if I were to buy a gift, I would probably buy the Old Forester as a present.
would you really?
Oh, really?
See, I would almost always go with
I would buy the Four Roses just because of the presentation of it.
Yeah,
So
the presentation of the bottle.
It is nice, but you never know if you get like a free hat or something. No, I'm kidding. No. I get that. Four Roses does have a pretty solid presentation, and what's unique with the Four Roses is even the barrel strength. Like it's all the same except for the tag, so it's not like super distinct. Like you get this nice leather neck strap. I mean, it does look pretty good.
Here at the Old Foe, you get a screw cap.
Oh, yeah.
But again, as far as gifts though, like Wild Turkey 101, people's like, oh, why,
You gave me some turkey. That's some crap.
You really went out of your way to get me something nice.
Yeah. Thanks for that one.
You'd probably associate that with like your grandfather, something like that. Wild Turkey.
College.
I got a bottle of this on my 21st birthday from a college friend. And, I remember that. And I didn't buy another bottle until this went on sale at Rite Aid when they were closing shop about 2 years ago.
60% off.
Best sale.
But it is good. And I've grown to enjoy the turkey a lot more than what I remembered from college.
I mean, like episode number 6, if you go back and look, and maybe it was 7 or 8, I don't really remember, but
Or 2 or 3.
it was Talking Turkey with Hillman, man.
We had a blast.
And we had a great time. It was over Thanksgiving. Rick James Yacht came out. All kinds of good stuff. So
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Fair.
man, so
Can I get a second?
I second.
this is not a meeting, man. What the
I
hell?
second.
Bang the gavel.
So anyway, if you want to find
Meetings
Bourbon Barrel
adjourned.
Talk,
Let's go.
you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those good things. You can email us at bourbonbarreltalk@gmail.com. Check out the website. We're working on it. It's just not going very far, very fast. Thanks, Nick, for hosting the event tonight.
In the Bourbon Loft.
In the Bourbon Loft.
And thank you, Scott, for taking the minutes today.
Thanks, Scott, for taking the minutes. That's right. This is Scott, Matt, Josh, and Nick signing off. Peace out.